Hey sparklers, how we doing? So if you don't know me, I am Empress Sparkle. I am someone here to help guide you and teach you the world of the spiritual realm. Do like, do comment, do subscribe, because it is really important to understand the spiritual realm. Very important, especially if you're new to coming into it or anything like that. Round here I teach you from all walks of life, depending on my podcast and everything. So do subscribe, do like, do comment, and let me know what you want to see. Today I am talking about spiritual attacks. Sadly, this can become quite a common thing, especially in today's society. It wasn't as bad when I was young, I will admit that, but at the minute for some reason this is getting worse and worse and worse. So today I am doing understanding a spiritual attack, so come and join with me.
Empress sparkle, guardian soul, you turn my fear into gold. Here in your light I unfold. Ooh, Empress sparkle, soft and strong, you make me feel I belong. Safe in your circle, I grow.
So understanding what a spiritual attack is. So people don't understand what a spiritual attack is. There's multiple different levels for it. So this is one of the things that I personally believe that people should understand a little bit more, especially when they're coming into this world, So spiritually attack, who can do it basically? So another person can spiritually attack you, and this could be by witchcraft, it could be just by thinking, it could be by sending their spirit guides, and so much more. They can actually spiritually attack you quite often. I find this when people are getting better and better in the spiritual world, and sadly there's a lot of dark people, you will find that they actually do get quite spiritually attacked quite often. The next one is a spirit or entity. If you haven't seen it over on my other YouTube channel, I do have a video about attachments, and that may actually help you here understand a bit more. All of that is linked down below, so do check that out. So a spirit or an entity can attach through 4 different ways, many different ways, and they can. And this is one of the things that is in that video, so do go and check that out. Attacks on your spiritual beliefs. So I'm used to this quite often. I will admit this, I'm used to this quite often because I'm Hellenic pagan, which is I worship the Greek gods. A lot of people don't agree with me not being, even though I've got Greek DNA, but they don't agree with me not being a full Greek to continue to worship them. I also get Christians quite a lot, etc, etc. Christians also get this, so Christians do. This is one of the hardest ones actually, is the spiritual attacks on your beliefs is very difficult. So let's talk about what can happen if you are being spiritually attacked. So feeling overwhelmed. Now this, when I'm talking about emotions, they aren't the same as when we're depressed, and it can be very difficult to tell them the difference. I have got a couple of girls who now will go, wow, I can see what you were saying, that was so different from depression. But the feeling of overwhelmed is literally like, it's like you're on the outside of your body and you're still overwhelmed, is the only way I could explain it. And this is for quite a lot of them. Feeling a lot of hopelessness. Now I see this quite often, especially on the attacks of spiritual beliefs, and I struggle with this. So especially as I've got a feeling there's going to be a few issues in the country soon, I feel this quite a lot because I'm a bit like, does that mean I'm going to have to force to change my religion? Does that mean that this? So I do have this quite a lot because I am quite a lot spiritually attacked on my beliefs. And I think this is one of the things that is the hardest of it all, to be honest, is when you're being spiritually attacked on your beliefs. It can leave you not in hope for the fact of living a free life, being able to go forward with lots of different things, etc. We then have this feeling of confusion. So confusion, doubt and fear sort of all go into the same bubble. So this could be you're not quite sure whether you actually belong in that religion. This could be that you're not quite sure that you can see into the future. This could be that you're not quite sure if it's true what you've seen in your meditation. So it can leave you with a lot of that going on: confusion, doubt and fear, a lot. The other one is wanting to give up your faith. So I do want to say on something on this. I gave up my faith to Christianity many blue moons ago. I was stuck until quite a few years. I was stuck and not sure where I belonged, as in faith-wise. I have now found it. That doesn't always mean you're being spiritually attacked. So sometimes it may be that the answers you need aren't being answered. That's all it might be. So you need to remember that sometimes. But wanting to give up your faith. The next one is exhausted. Again, this is draining more than exhausted, and it may feel like you're separated from your own body in some ways. And the next is money struggles, so financial struggles. This anyway, when you come into the spiritual world, is a difficult thing anyway. So this is where this one's quite hard. So I'm not quite sure where to put this one, but this is one that we're advised to look for. But when you come into the spiritual world anyway, because money doesn't mean anything to you, because you'll rather have your soul white, etc. So it don't mean as much. Don't get me wrong, we want enough to pay our bills and stuff like that. It doesn't mean as much to you as what other things do. So money struggles could look at more like not being able to afford food, etc. So not being able to pay your bills, etc. Nightmares. Now this is a big one. It's also a big one. I don't mean this rudely. If you are, if you're also under an attachment, it's also another big one for that. So this is a big one, nightmares, and this could be things like, what was it when I got spiritually attacked the other day? It was really weird. So basically, after watching a live a couple of days ago, weeks ago, I can't remember now when it was, I literally had a dream that we were involved in a demon apocalypse. So it was a bit like a zombie apocalypse, but demons. And literally the demon that was in that live was also in my dream. So I knew this was a spiritual attack. I knew this demon was trying to make me scared. And I just looked at it and went, I ain't scared of you. Walked into the room with it and woke up. I wouldn't advise you guys to do that. You haven't got the gift that I've got, so I would never advise people to do that. Because obviously there may be fear there still. But nightmares are a big thing. Becoming ill and also death can also lead from a spiritual attack. So do remember that. I'm not trying to scare you and like go, oh my goodness, but they can, and hauntings and stuff like that. If you want to actually hear more about that, again, on my other channel, I've actually got where Kate was spiritually attacked in her own home by a haunting. So you're welcome to check that out as well. So there's many things that can actually cause it. So what can be done about it? Let's find out. Becoming closer to your deities. So whether they're Christian or whatever they are, coming closer to your deities is really important. I do not care what faith you are. I'm friends with so many different faiths as long as you're a good person. And I think that's the important thing. And I will even advise you how to actually connect with your gods and goddesses. I know I'm strange. I don't force you all to come and worship Zeus, even though of course I want you to. But I don't force it. because at the end of the day, it is your life, it's not mine. Speak to a leader within your religious community. So that could be someone like me. If you're Hellenic pagan, you may want to come and have a chat with me about what you feel, what you're thinking, etc. That may be a priest, that may be a rabbi, whoever it is, go and have a chat with them. It is really important. The next thing is get your home blessed or cleansed. So this is another important one, is getting your home blessed or cleansed is very, very important when you're going through this, to make sure you've got a clear space. Make sure it's perfect for you. So protection that you can use is white light. So as well as cleansing is white light. The other thing, believe it or not, is actually symbols on your door. So this can be things like, I want on my front door, I'm planning a bit of a, I've not done it yet, but I am planning it, and that's a bit of a Zeus, Hecate, Apollon, a couple of the boundary gods which make a boundary onto onto my front door, so they can give me an extra protection boundary around my front door. This for you may be a cross, it may be a photo, I don't know, it could be a Hanukkah. I don't think the candles are actually called that. It could be a pentagram. Whatever it is that you feel you need to put on that to help you have a boundary, do it. Is the way I word it, do it. So yeah guys, so that is a bit about spiritual attack and stuff. I feel like in my last couple of videos I may have left a couple of questions, so if I have left a couple of questions, comment them down below and I'll get another video out as soon as possible. And yeah, so anyway guys, I hope you've enjoyed this, and don't forget, keep sparkling.